Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Call Haloyam, Adonai Yahweh, Bashim Shah Malaki Habashai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Habayah Shah Malak Dawadah, the house of King David, into confusion of faces that look like these heathen nations, but identity goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the royal holy chosen seed line. Shalom. And the lesson in this video is going to be about how two-thirds are not written in the book of life, and instead y'all are on the Most High's hit list, otherwise known as, his death note, in other words. But I have a couple of scriptures I want to bring out. I'll start out Ezekiel 9 and verse 3. And the glory of the God of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And the people that sighing and crying is pretty much the elect, starting with the 144,000, the rest of the 1/3. And that mark is resembling the mark of exemption from judgment. So you're being exempt from judgment if you have that mark. And, Adon Ratazar, the brothers Akim and Akwafiyam in this truth have that mark of exemption from judgment, including myself. And verse 5 says, And to the others he said in my hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. And maid is a definition of like younger woman. So it's telling you to slay. He's saying slay woman, like, double judgment on woman, because he said woman twice, females twice. Yeah. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, Defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. So yeah, the Most High, he got spirits on the left and the right hand side that could send out judgment, for him, and that's what they're gonna do in these end times. And it's gonna be to the point in time where you're gonna see bodies dropping left and right. It's gonna be seeing a person dying. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like almost an everyday thing. You're gonna see it like not only in the movies, like you're gonna see it like right in front of your face. Yeah. So this is not no joke. 2/3, y'all already written for death, man. Y'all are on the Most High's hit list. He already had a death note that he set up in the Old Testament, and it's gonna play out again in this time when Jacob's trouble hits. It's gonna increase on a larger scale. He's already taken out certain celebrities at a small scale, and he's already killing some Jakes at a small scale. The heathens are already done away with. Some of them, a lot of them will be dead too. A lot of them will be dying. A lot of them will be marked for judgment as well. But a lot of these devils and heathens. But this is mostly about our people, because our people are the only ones that have a chance of being written in the book of life. So, and the only heathens that's gonna ever survive in these end times are basically gonna be the elites and the other heathen kings that that lead their country. The other they're like the elites and stuff like that. They're gonna be basically the because they're gonna come back. They're gonna have to what you call it, basically bring out their they're gonna be the first fruits of slaves, and they're gonna have to like have children, bring back the nation of people. But that's for another lesson. But just want to make just want y'all to get the point of this. In Zechariah 13 and 8, it says, And it shall come to pass that in all the land, save the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So that's showing you 2/3 are gonna die, and And this is gonna happen all over the world. It's not only talking about just one land. It's just like 2/3 that's part of that represents the nation of Israel, the wicked nation. They're gonna die. Then the 1/3 is gonna be the only one to survive. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Adonai is my Yahweh, Lord is my God. So that's what they're gonna say. Um, so yeah, and then going back to Ezekiel, the ninth chapter, you see, you see how it says like, and he called to the in verse 3, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. That's kind of representing, like, the spirit just made me think about it. It kind of represented about, Death Note. Like, there's an anime called Death Note, basically, and what they have is like, they had like films, and I've seen like the anime first, but they had like films of, like some movies, some Japanese films of it, like live action, and they even had like, one in the animated version, which started out as an animated version. Yeah, they have like a some guy named Light Yagami that writes people's names on a death note and stuff like that. Like, he and whoever name he write down, that person dies. They even had a Netflix film. It was one that was like, a live action but with American actors. Yeah, that one is like, because in the anime how it worked was that they died of a heart attack if you write down anybody's name down there. But in the animated, in the live action film, how they died was at least from what I've seen from the Netflix film, that they died, they could die from any type of way, like basically get their head cut off by something, or you write the way they die, and that's how they're gonna die. Um, and how it works is that once the name is written down, you gotta think of the person's name, and that's how the person died. So yeah, basically, in the Most High, like, he's the one that writes people's names down on the death notes. He could choose the day and the time you die, and he tells the angels to orchestrate the action, so the judgment can happen at any time. He writes down the way you die, how you supposed to die, and the spirits on the left hand side are the ones that orchestrate the events, and the ones on the right hand side is going to be doing it too, especially during this Jacob's trouble. These 2/3 that put Yahweh Shai to death in our past lives 2,000 years ago. There's a lot of judgment that's coming for them. You know, they're not going to escape judgment. So that's what's going to happen. And basically, like, in the death note, those death angels are actually called shinigamis, and I'll show you. So it says shi and kami, those two Japanese words, which mean death and God. So and it says right here, the meaning: God of death, death bringer, or death spirit, are gods or supernatural spirits that invite humans towards death in certain aspects of Japanese religion and culture, which is mostly their religion is mostly Shintoism, but that's a pagan religion. And I know, like, shinigamis are mostly represented in sometimes in anime, like, the popular animes, like I said, Death Note and Bleach. you know they're shown as that too. And Naruto, there's also shown as a I forgot this guy named Hiruzen Sarutobi, that's Hokage. I think he was the fourth, or the no, the third Hokage, I think. Yeah, he was a third, and he was he uses that Shinigami to the Death Seal. Um, but yeah, pretty much. So that's what a Shinigami means. They're like death angels that bring people towards death. They're like the Grim Reaper, basically. Like in the Western culture, they will talk about Grim Reaper, or that's basically what the Shinigami is. In the Japanese culture, they're like, it's a counterpart of the Grim Reaper, basically. Going back to Zechariah 13 and 9, where it says that how the 1/3 is going to be um, brought through the fire, and will be refined as silver is refined, and will be tried as gold is tried. Yeah, The Most High is gonna test to see who's gonna be the 1/3. So it ain't gonna be a joke, you know. He's gonna put a lot of people, our people, through the test. And don't get me wrong, there's gonna be some 1/3 of our people gonna be punished heavily for following after the 2/3, and it's gonna feel like the punishment's gonna feel like, that they're gonna be a 2/3, that they might think they might be a 2/3, but the Most High like, nah, I'm not gonna let that person die. I'm gonna have mercy, you know. Because, mind you, the Most High has an evil side to him. Everybody talks about he's all love. He's a righteous. He has the loving side. Everybody always talk about that, like Christianity. That's bullshit. I mean, yeah, he does have a loving side. Don't get me wrong, but like he also has an evil side to him. Like life and death. He's a balance. You know what I mean? Yin and yang. That's how the Most High is. He has an evil side and a good side to him. And it's like our people, they do so much wickedness. They push the evil side to for that to happen on them. And that's why in the scriptures he's called Alashaja, demon-like power, um, almighty demon-like power. That's what the Most High is. He's a terrible power. And it says in Matthew 25 and 31, it says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. And that's showing you the right hand is considered as the righteous side, and the left hand is considered as the wicked side. So that's spiritual. So that's how we say the right hand of the Most High is the righteous, and then the left hand is the wicked, the evil side. Comes from there. Um, and it says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. And let me go to verse 41. Then shall he also say unto them on the left, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. And going down, verse 42, for I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and art athirst, or a stranger, or sick, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, verily, verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So yeah, so that's showing that 2/3 of our people are gonna be put into the destruction. But even and some of the heathens are gonna be put into destruction too. Like in that destruction is pretty much like, basically the swords the Most High have prepared to destroy this country. And destroy the people inhabiting this country as well, and all around the world too. There's certain various parts of this earth that's gonna be missiles gonna be flying around, and other types of destruction are going to be happening before the Lord's actual coming. But when it's actual coming, when He arrives, World War III is going to be taking place, and they're going to have nuclear missiles like hitting the soils of America. So let me see, Revelations 20 and 15, and it says, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire, which is talking about that thermonuclear fire. So, and 2/3 they can't repent. They could hear it, the words, but they're not gonna take heed unto it. Because according to Isaiah 6 and to verses 7-11, verses 7 to 11 in the 6th chapter of Isaiah is going on to saying that how the 2/3 are gonna be blinded, to the point where they're not going to understand this truth, and they have spiritual blindfolds and uh, that the Most High put on them, that they can't understand this truth, and they're going to just basically die. You know, that's what's going to happen. But the one third, they're going to come to the truth. Different. Some of them are going to come in at different points in time. They're not going to come all at the same time. They're going to come at different times because it's an order to this. And so the last scripture I'll bring out, even though I should have brought the Revelations one out last, but it's whatever. Um, it says, Second Ezra 9, verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them from me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, which is hate, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. So yeah, that's what Ezra said, because the same niggas and these same bitches that don't repent to the Most High, which is mostly these 2/3, they're gonna know it by death and pain. Don't get me wrong. Our people are so stubborn. Some of the 1/3 are gonna have to go through some tribulation before coming to this truth, and that's mostly the woman. Some of these 1/3 women that wanted to follow these 2/3 women, they're gonna have to see probably some of these women that get snatched up and taken into they're gonna have to be put into the same tradition as women, but they're gonna be able to escape and survive, just to and be running for their life, just to understand that salvation ain't no damn joke, and that this truth wasn't a joke. It's gonna be like a real near close death experience, and it's gonna be painful to go through too. So yeah, it's not gonna be a joke. Verse 13, and therefore be thou now curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. So yeah, you know, and of course, and according to Psalm 69 and 22, King David also cursed the 2/3 of our people as well. So, because he really didn't want the 2/3 of our people to get this truth, and I don't blame him, because 2/3 of our people are just the worst of our people. They're like the worst enemies. Here you have it, we in this bitch suffering, and they over here want to make our suffering a lot worse. You see Jakes in the schools acting wild, acting crazy, fighting each other, acting like a fool in the street, robbing from their own people, and committing all types of crimes against their own people. That's why the Most High sends judgment against them. He's already sending death angels on them. He have the cops coming up, getting their minds influenced by the left hand side spirits to shoot up these niggas and kill these niggas, or he uses some other niggas to send judgment upon each other. You know, any way possible. The Most High, he has a way to kill off anyone. Whether it be through people, getting influenced by spirits, or by spirits themselves doing it. Yeah, so um, that's how it is. And I hope I made that lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praises, honor to Adonai, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shalom, Malak, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, double honor to apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Abad Babal. Shalom.